you see 23rd place in our leaderboard. He's just keeping it simple. A very basic Owen Turtenwald style mono black deck.
And our standings are pretty, I mean, we barely missed 11 rounds in this tournament, so there's actually a lot of X1s remaining. It goes all the way down to 13th or 13th place, it appears. So these players can't draw, and even the X1s near the top of the standings probably can't draw.
I was just say, it could be bad. I don't think an X1's going to miss. Now, I'm not great at the math on this sort of thing, but you know, when we do have X1 all the way down to 13th place with Matthew Holloway, and then 14th place, Andrew Kellick. He just picked up his first loss last round against Gerard Fabiano. He's sitting at 22 points. You know, we might see some frowny faces here, but we'll see what happens. We're going to start with a Thoughtseize, which is going to show you a hand of an Elspeth, a Blood Baron, a Pack Rat, a Last Breath, a Hero's Downfall, a Mutavault, and a Swamp.
And all the white cards that you're going to see in this Orzhov mid-range deck, especially good against Mono Black Devotion, Elspeth, a great threat, Blood Baron, very challenging to kill, and Last Breath, a very efficient removal spell against everything in the black deck besides Desecration Demon.
Yeah, it's almost like this deck was built to get an edge in the mono black mirror.
Yeah, it feels like it's paying cost with its mana base and other matchups, but the white cards it's added certainly at a premium here.
Thoughtseize is going to take down the Pack Rat. You see Nolan's hand right now. It looks like he's got 5 spells over there, a couple Underworld connections, all that jazz. But what he's looking for is another land. His Mutavault's going to come in and play and pass the turn back. He draws a Gray Merchant. It's a bad time to miss a land drop, Lauren, but he will pass the turn back over to Stedham, who has a Plains, which that was not in his hand when Thoughtseize was cast. So giving away a little bit of information. There's a Swamp there for Nolan.
A little late, but probably not too late, as William not really curving out here.
Looks like a Desecration Demon, yeah. Now that's a card that's pretty answerable in the mono black mirror between Devour Flesh and Hero's Downfall. So I'd like to believe that's not going to present too much of a problem for Nolan, but it doesn't look like he actually has much of an answer. So Connections is going to get activated. Nolan's going to go down to 17, draws a copy of Mutavault, so drawing a land there is mighty important. You see his hand now. Again, Desecration Demon, there's a Pack Rat, there's a couple of copies of Underworld Connections, and some copies of Gray Merchant.
But no answers to Desecration Demon, and more importantly, no answers to Blood Baron as well.
It's also, you know, one thing in this matchup, it's very dangerous to stay hit from a Blood Baron. Now, the nice thing here for Nolan is that, you know, if he were to deploy another copy of Underworld Connections this turn, his Gray Merchants would actually be quite good.
Yeah, it's for a lot, you know, and he's got 2 in hand, but it's going to be hard for him to race Desecration Demon plus Blood Baron, plus Elspeth potentially as well.
All right, so Stedham's going to be able to untap and draw. Draws another copy of Blood Baron. I don't think he's got a 5th land. He doesn't, so it looks like we're going to cast a Thoughtseize here. And there you do see the hand of Desecration Demon, Underworld Connections, Pack Rat, double Gray Merchant.
And William needs a really good reason to not take one of these Gray Merchants right now. He has already lost the card advantage war, so taking the Underworld Connections doesn't mean a lot here. Yep. And presumably he has removal spells to check the other creatures.
Mutavault's going to go active, going to attack for 8. William going to knock Nolan down a little bit, so now Nolan needs to draw a land like right now. And he does, so there's a Swamp, so that can be a Gray Merchant for 6. Can maybe stem the tide a little bit here.
Losing that second Gray Merchant really hurts Lauren, though.
So are you saying Thoughtseize is good?
It was really good there.
Yeah.
It's often not very good against a person with multiple Underworld Connections going, but Lauren's draw is actually missing some pieces, weirdly. No removal spells.
I feel like he's almost priced into casting Gray Merchant's turn. I don't know if he can actually do anything else. I mean, he could try, I suppose, to try to find a removal spell for this Desecration Demon, but
yeah, the problem is that the Gray Merchant is ace in the hole here. The rest of his hand doesn't really do very much. It's another demon that can just get killed, a Pack Rat that's too late to the party, another Underworld Connections he can't really deploy. So even though draining for 6 is pretty good here, it leaves the rest of his hand pretty anemic, and that 6 life immediately gets made up by William on the crackback. Yeah, he's not going to Gray Merchant here. I actually think he needs to pursue this path, because if he can find a removal spell for the Desecration Demon, then he has all the time in the world to set up a board and actually get a very large Gray Merchant. I also think it would have been fine for him to Gray Merchant this turn if he still had the second one left over, but as it is, he still needs to kind of clutch onto that, I think. I know it stings, but I actually like this play from Lauren.
yeah, I mean, it definitely does sting. It doesn't seem, I guess, you know, on the surface it doesn't feel optimal, but I do think this way he's giving him the best chance to win the game.
Because where does he go next turn after he gets hit for 6?
basically in the same spot.
He's just in the same spot. So if he actually found a Hero's Downfall or a Devour Flesh this turn, he's actually got a pretty good shot. But
I think he's going to okay, so he's going to cast a Desecration Demon. So this allows him to live. Now he's going to die, I think, right? Yeah, because there's a land off the top. There's your Downfall, activate the Mutavault, and die.
Yep.
So Sedem was going to have to draw a land to be able to get the game done, which he was able to do. Quickly cast the Hero's Downfall, activates Mutavault. That's going to be 8, and that's going to do it. So William Stedham is going to win game number 1 here with Orzhov Midrange over Lauren Nolan, playing Mono Black Devotion. Both players are going to their sideboards very quickly. We're going to do the same. You've got Nolan's in front of you. I'll let you start.
yeah, we're looking at pretty close to the Owen Turnwald special. 3 Dark Betrayal, 3 Lightbane Zombie, 2 Doomblade, 2 Erebos, 3 Duress, 2 Pharika's Cure. I think you're going to definitely see Dark Betrayal. I think you're going to see Lightbane Zombie. You're trying to fight over Blood Baron. 2 copies of Erebos. Pretty good if the game's going to go along. And potentially extra Duresses as well, because besides Underworld connections, William also has access to Last Breath, an additional efficient removal spell, and Elspeth, which can threaten to win the game on its own. So Duress, pretty reasonable in the Mono Black Mirror, and should be even better here.
On this side of things, a couple 3-ofs here in Obsidian, Duress, and Dark Betrayal. 2 Pharika's Cure, 2 Doomblade, a Ratchet Bomb, and a Last Breath. I love Duress, love Dark Betrayal, so that's 6. Kind of like Pharika's Cure and 2 of those. I don't know if you really want those when you have access to Last Breath. There's an additional one in the sideboard. I think I want to board in that Last Breath first. Obviously, Doomblade's going to stay on the board, Ratchet Bomb as well. So, you know, the only other question is, do you want Obsidian here? But I think Blood Baron is just better than Obsidian in this particular matchup. So, taking a look at things with 3 Duress, 3 Dark Betrayal, and a Last Breath, that's 7 cards to come in. And Desecration Demon is 4 easy cards to sideboard out. The next ones can probably be Ratchet Bombs, then maybe something else. But, Stedham's deck's only going to become better after sideboard.
Right. I would imagine that Obsidian is in the sideboard for Mizium Mortars matchups.
Okay.
Because it's clearly much better against Mizium Mortars than Blood Baron is. And also for straight control Esper and Blue-White, where Obsidian can win the game on its own, and Blood Baron's pretty anemic.
All right, well, these players are shuffling up. We'll be underway shortly in game 2 of round number 10 here. Again, if you guys are just joining us, Cedric Phillips, Patrick Sullivan, Star City Games Open Series here in Columbus, Ohio at SCG Live, hashtag SCGCOL for your tweets for the rest of this evening and all day tomorrow, as we're going to make our way towards our quarterfinals, where we'll be giving away 3 months of premium. Tomorrow morning, we start bright and early, 8 a.m. East Coast time. Probably beat the sun up. We'll be doing our semifinals, give away 6 months of premium. Our finals, give away the full year. Take a break, and then you know what we do then. We come back, we do legacy action, where, as I've mentioned over the course of the day, Kenan Haas said he was going to be here. We saw him earlier today. He'll be trying to defend the title with Jund Depth, see if he can go back-to-back in the 2 Legacy Opens that he's played in so far this year.
And a lot of these players will also be locking up at least 1 invitation to an invitational this year, plus a lot of Open Series points, which could possibly lead to a qualification to the Players' Championship at the end of this year. So a lot at stake.
It'll be cool to watch. And I'm really interested to see how this tournament is going to unfold, who's going to take down the trophy, and what deck is going to win here in you know, our last 2 weeks of this standard format before we work towards Born of the Gods.
Yeah, it's really going to set the table. I was about to say, just as we get close to the new set, what the metagame is going to look like leading into it.
It's going to be some interesting stuff. And, of course, over the rest of today and tomorrow, we'll be talking about those Born of the Gods spoilers that we have seen, as there's been some juicy ones. So both players can take a look at their 7 cards momentarily. It looks like Nolan's already sent it back for a mulligan. So Lauren coming here, 23rd place right now on Open Series leaderboard. He's looking to get some more points, move on up, try to get that invite to the Players' Championship.
And like I mentioned before, this was really close to 11 rounds this tournament. We barely missed. So there's a lot of X and 1s here. No intentional drawing to be done. There's a lot of matches going on right now for these top 8 berths.
I think he's got a 1-lander here. We'll see. Yeah, he does. He's got a 1-lander with Pack Rat and Devour Flesh. This could get blown up by a discard spell really bad. Yep, that's a Duress, so at least it's not a Thoughtseize, I suppose. Does not want to mulligan to find this matchup. Gonna take a Devour Flesh, hoping to peel one off the top. And he missed and didn't even draw a discard spell.
Devour Flesh is a declaration of I have Pack Rat, and we might have a quick runaway here.
Oh boy. And just extends the hand right away. Wow. Wow.
I mean, William doesn't necessarily have a 3rd land there, so
yeah, I mean, I didn't
that's a fast concession.